Welcome back. Last time we set up our development environment, installed Typescript, and even ran our first bit of Typescript code. If you missed the episode, check it out to make sure you're all set up to follow along. Today, we are diving into some foundational programming concepts, variables, and data types. So let's get started. First off, what is a variable? Think of variables as a container that holds data for us. We can label this container, put some data inside it, and then refer back to it by its label. So imagine you have a box named age, and inside the box you put the number 25. Now, every time you need to know the age, you just look at what is in the box. And this is essentially what we are doing with variables in code. An example for it is shown here. We have greeting. Greeting is the box. We give it a name. And actually what the what the box contains is hello world. We can get to the contents of the box by referring to it or giving it to a function that does something with it, like what we did last time where we printed hello world. We defined the box greeting. We put hello world inside the box with this syntax, and then we printed it to the console, and then we got hello world. So variables help us store values like numbers, text, arrays, and a lot of stuff so we can use them later in our programs. All right, so in TypeScript, there are multiple ways that we can actually declare a variable. We have a couple keywords for that. First one is let. Let is the first one. Let is changeable. Let's we call it changeable. And let's say we do hello, we are using let. Now, as you might have noticed, here we type string, so we know this type is string. Here we don't do that, but that actually says to the compiler that it's because we are using a string literal, it is actually a string. It just infers that from this syntax. Now, it's better to just type it out like that so other programmers can see what you are doing. It's nicer. Now, let is used when you want to be able to change the value that is stored in the box. So let's say we have changeable here, and we are using hello, we are using let, and what we can do in code is actually change it to now this is inside our box. So what we have done is we have declared a variable changeable that refers to hello, we're using let. Later on, we say no. Now this is inside of our box. So we changed what is inside of the box, or actually what the variable is referring to. So that is what let is for. We also have var. Var is actually something that we are not going to use a lot. Like it's a legacy JavaScript type thing that we are not actually going to use. It is an older way to declare variables and is less commonly used in TypeScript. It behaves differently than let and const, especially inside of functions, so we'll mainly stick to let and const. But what you can do is you can like say var city is New York, and then it's all good. Like it's sort of the same as let, but we're not going to use it. Don't use it. Just stay away from that. So we also have const, and const is actually the opposite of non-changeable. So the opposite of let. So changeable string is, we can't change this. Now what we want to do is we want to say, all right, now it's this. And then we get this red squiggly line, and it says cannot assign to non-changeable because it is a constant. A constant means that it's the same. It's constant. It's the same. We cannot change it. So note that both of them have a use case. The let is used to be able to change stuff. Const is used to not be able to change stuff. And you want to use this one most of the time, actually. Like this one is used sometimes, but most of the time we're going to use const. So that is it. That is how you declare variables in TypeScript. It's very simple. Next, let's talk about data types. What actually is a data type? We keep talking about types, data types. What is it? A data type tells TypeScript what kind of value a variable will hold. For example, is it a number, a piece of text, or something else? There are several basic data types we use all the time. So let's go through some of the most common ones. All right, first off, we have number. So let's remove this. Like that. No, not everything. Like this. Well, we can delete that as well. So let's use number. We have let age number 25. So now TypeScript knows that we have the variable. We need to delete this, otherwise we keep getting stupid errors. But we have an age number 25. So we have said that the variable age is of type number, so only numbers can be in there. We can't do this. This is a string. Maybe this is a bit better. And it says type string is not assignable to type number. So what we now have done is we have said this is a number and it has to stay a number. It doesn't matter if we change it because we've used the let variable. So if we say it's 26, that's also fine. Like we can change it to another number. We cannot change it to a string. And that is actually really, really nice and what we want. All right. So we also have string. We used it before, but we can use it for example for a name. Name Alice. So we have name. Actually, the squiggly lines are showing up because of my exercises and exercise answers TypeScript files. So don't be confused by that. New name. Let's use it like that. So we have new name is of type string and it holds the name Alice. We can say that because we are using the let keyword, we can change the name to Bob. So we can say new name equals Bob. And that's also totally fine. But we cannot say that new name now is 25. It says, no, you cannot do that. What are you trying to do? Trying to put numbers into strings? This is not okay. What are you doing? So that's good. That's what we want. It's nice. Keeps things sane. We also have a type boolean. And actually what a boolean is true or false. So we can say let is student, boolean true. Booleans can be either true or false, and we can use that in conditionals. So that's it. Then we also have any, let the random value. Don't use any, but I'm going to show you anyways, but don't shoot yourself in the foot with this one. Any is, you can do whatever. It's like the cheat code. Like, okay, well, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make it a string, and then we're going to make it a boolean because we don't care about anything anymore. Like, you know, we don't care about sanity in our code. Let's go. Like, just make it JavaScript. Just put any in everywhere, and we have JavaScript. So we're not going to do it for educational purposes. I'm showing it to you here. There might be a small use case sometimes somewhere into your code. I hope you'll never need to, but sometimes any is the solution. So that is any. I'm going to remove it. So we have a number. That is a number. 25. So we have string, boolean, and number. These are the basic data types. We also have any, but I removed it, so don't use it. Now, why are these actually like important? Because TypeScript uses them to catch errors before our code even runs. Like I've shown you before, like if you try to put a string in there, this is a number and not a string, it says, hey, type string is not assignable to type number. Now, if we try to compile this file with tsc compile, it says, I cannot do that for you because you tried to put strings into something that is labeled number. So that helps us so much in our development because we catch errors before the code is running into production and destroys a lot of stuff that we don't want to be destroying. All right, so let's put this into practice. I've shown you everything you need to know. Now I'll give you a small exercise to try out in your editor. All right, I'll show you the exercises here so you can freeze it. These are the 3 exercises. So create a variable called full name with your name as a string, create a variable called age with your age as a number, create a variable called isLearning Typescript with a boolean value of true. Once you have these variables, try printing them out to the console, okay? So just pause the video here. When you're done, come back. All right, so these are the answers. If you were struggling a bit or if you got it all right, here it is. So we have declared a const full name with a type string that is your name. My name is John Oost. I'm Dutch, John Roost. That's there. You also have age. Well, I'm not 30. I'm actually a bit younger than that, but whatever. And we have isLearning Typescript, boolean true, and you print them out in the console with this syntax. It says console.log, so log to the console, name, because that is my name, comma, full name. That's how you do it. You can also use another notation, but we'll get to there later on. This is the basics that you need to know. So now that we've done that, hopefully you've seen how easy it was to declare and use variables with a specific data type. And today we covered the basics of variables and data types in TypeScript. We learned how to declare variables using let and const, explored some common data types like number, string, boolean, and saw how TypeScript can help catch errors when data types don't match. In our next episode, we'll dive into operations you can perform on data, like combining strings, doing math with numbers, and working with booleans. I'll see you then.